Burnout in gardening is quite real. And talking about homesteading, it can be a little bit different, but it is actually the same issue for homesteading or for gardening. For example, I really got bored by this season because we literally had 4 cold front here in central Florida, and last one was completely devastating. It was very hard freeze. My area was projected only 29 by Fahrenheit, but on soil level I got 20. It's very difficult for plants to handle 20 Fahrenheit. It's very low temperatures, and I have a lot of losses. Not completely losses, but some my trees will start from scratch. And a lot of people actually lost their trees too because they didn't know how to protect, and some people didn't actually expect that temperature will go so low. For example, one man said, we were expecting 27, but we got 24. And for tropical plants, that's a big difference. So let's talk about other issues. For example, when I planted my trees 6 months ago, around within 1 month, I planted 50 fruit trees. And I didn't have automatic irrigation, and I have to water them manually. Can you imagine how long it takes? So it was taking me 1 hour every single day to water them, because March, April, it's already hot enough, but it's dry enough too. We don't have even single rain for several weeks. And that 60 minutes means I literally water 1.5 minutes for one tree, which is not really sounds a lot, but once you have a lot of them, it's really adds up. So if you're just starting, you basically probably start with smaller trees. But this is not my first garden. I quite experienced in that one. Just my husband was very busy to do automatic irrigation. And for me, I probably would do it myself, but I was very busy, and sometimes I don't want to deal with some technologies, because we converted our sprinklers to drip irrigation. So we don't have sprinklers anymore. Now, another case, when you plant something, your plants already mature, they're supposed to be giving you crop, but you don't get it because pests got it, or maybe you have critters like raccoons, opossum, or squirrels, and your crop is gone. You don't have anything to harvest. So pest management and critter management is quite crucial for success. Otherwise, you will be mentally burned out, not physically. So some tasks give some mental issues, some of them will give us physical challenges. And if you have, for example, very hard clay soil, digging up something, very hard task, so you will have some physical challenges. And next things, I would say, if it's completely new to you, even Florida was new to me, I didn't have that many failures only because I have 30 plus years of experience, and for me, I can easily spot issues on early stage and avoid completely that situation. But most of the issue in Florida happening because we have rainy season. It's very long, starting June and ending in August. But sometimes that's 2 months. Wipe out your plants, and you're supposed to be having some fall crop, but you don't have it because you have to start from scratch again. I really like it actually. Watermelons, surprise to me, they didn't have any disease, they survived. And did you see that my short when I harvested watermelon in December? And another watermelon harvested right before that hard freeze and end of January. Oh my God, that was so good. I was not expecting to have watermelons. I thought they're very sensitive to temperatures, but we have quite warm. It wasn't really warm enough them to develop big size. It was small size, but in terms of taste, it was very, very good. So if you start like a big project with a lot of raised bed, you will have a lot of expenses. You will have a lot of mentally burnout, because you see that you spent a lot of money, you don't have any return for your investment because your crop basically disappeared. So for example, I don't have any raised bed. I grow everything on the ground because I'm still relatively young and my knees not hurting that bad, so I can do. But I don't do that much actually stuff on my knees because I don't do weeding. I didn't have time. Most our weeds will be during summertime. I didn't do anything only because it was so hot outside. For me it was very difficult to get out all that weeds. And actually they did protect my plants because it was not so hot for them, because I don't have mulch. Mulch, again, everybody's saying like use mulch for weed suppression and so forth. But I don't have access to free mulch. Even if I get track of that mulch, it's going to be very hard to move that huge pile to my backyard without getting any letter from HOA. It's not that straightforward. Or otherwise I have to buy back the mulch, which again expenses. I don't want that. So I grow just simply on the ground. All that weeds actually blocking, providing some shade. And actually I use grass clippings to put on top. It kind of a little bit suppressing. It actually was beneficial. Yes, I will get some seed weeds from that. So start small. Get my guide which varieties and what you can grow, which is easy. They are more vigorous compared to any other, because any plant, almost any plant, we can substitute with something. For example, instead of growing cucumbers or watermelon, I would go watermelon, because unripe watermelon tastes kind of the same as cucumber. My kiddo enjoyed it. It was so good. Yes, it's not really fully ripe, it was not red. But what's interesting, after several days, it was cut on pieces, and I put some on a fridge. And after several days, it a little bit developed like pinkish color and taste change, or what was completely new to me. So I, for example, will focus on growing a lot of watermelons, and I don't do trellis on them. I just let them grow on the ground. And last summer, they grew completely in shaded areas. They were shaded. All the leaves were shaded. And I saw that watermelon will not taste good and plant will suffer. But apparently, it was such a good. So I got a lot of seeds from my watermelon. I collected them. I'm gonna plant them. Especially, I like to plant them based on my trees. But one of them was actually killed because it's kind of providing shade for that plant. I was keep putting all that vining inside that border on my trees. And it's looking nice, it's flowering, so it attracts some pollinators. And I personally didn't see any issues, any disease with my watermelons. I heard that watermelons are more easy to grow compared to melons. And cucumbers are completely difficult, very difficult. I already started them, but I don't know if I will get any cucumbers. I did harvest actually some. I started cucumbers in October because we had some warm temperature, but apparently it's not so warm for cucumbers. They will grow, but they won't produce. That's an issue. Again, go check my guide with which plant you can start this year to have better success, so you don't have failures. But if you still have failures with such plants, let me know, and maybe you need to see what else you're missing.